Hi, I'm Tom Vallone from Integrity Research Institute, and today we're presenting Future Climate, a quick overview of the most compelling climate news from Integrity Research. We're looking at the Washington Post magazine, and it specifically describes the problems we're having with exporting coal up to 500 million tons per year, which adds another 1 billion tons of carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. Also, there's a concern with the Arctic in terms of the latest discovery just made a couple months ago in regards to the burning of Arctic forests, which now has been contributing more methane to the atmosphere. And methane, of course, is about 20 times more potent than CO2, and even up to 70 times more potent if you take it over a short period of time, like 25 years. So these are compounding and complex issues that are even unanticipated in terms of the standard model of just carbon dioxide being the most concern for global warming. In terms of the gases that contribute to global warming, CO2, methane, and nitrous oxides, they're all going up tremendously, very linearly and predictably, as energy demand increases worldwide, and also very little has been done to reduce climate gas emissions. Carbon emissions per year in just the United States has been going up exponentially this past century. And this is a major concern because now we're up to about 10 billion tons of carbon being emitted into the atmosphere. Note that metric tons and US tons are about the same, 1.1 difference. But the 2010 data shows we're into the 10 billion tons per year just from the US. And if we look at worldwide, per capita, we still exceed the emissions in terms of about 15 to 20 tons of carbon dioxide per person, compared to about half or less than half of that for all the other countries of the world, including China. So the question is, what can be done? Well, one perspective that I've come up with in terms of the overall viewpoint of the world's climate history is a contribution from Dr. Jim Hansen, NASA Goddard Institute for Space Studies. This Dr. Hansen's very reputable and also very famous for his work. And in 2006, he published a very interesting compilation of carbon dioxide, sea level, and temperature for the past 500,000 years. And this was published in Technology Review. It became, I feel, a milestone in terms of climate history that has not been referred to by very many experts in the climatology arena. And specifically what we see in this end part has been amplified in a graph that I prepared and also gave a copy to Jim Hansen as well to show the close-up of, first of all, the pattern of the lockstep correlation between carbon dioxide, sea level, and temperature over these different ice ages that have been recorded by these ice cap records, but also this anomalous increase in carbon dioxide way above the 290 parts per million that has been literally the maximum Earth amount of carbon dioxide ever seen for 500,000 years. So we've exceeded that by 110 parts per million, so you can look at it even as a 25% increase in carbon dioxide if you wish. We're up to the 400 parts per million currently right now. And what's very valuable about Jim Hansen's graph is this lets us correlate the relationship, which has eluded many experts, between carbon dioxide and temperature, carbon dioxide and sea level. Most importantly, of course, many of us are concerned about temperature. The graph, which is calibrated, tells us that 10 parts per million equal 0.5 degrees C and 10 meters of sea level rise that has currently and predictably been related to each other. So we're indebted for 5 degrees C or 9 degrees F just from the carbon dioxide level we currently have. So we not only need to stop emitting, but also sequester carbon. And what I've point out here in terms of our work in making this prediction literally 10 years ago is that in 2009, 2 different climate groups across the world predicted the same type of thing, 6.3 degrees Fahrenheit and 4 degrees C warmer in the UK. So the climatologists agree with the data that Jim Hansen uncovered years before the climatologists caught up. And of course, we're seeing even more interesting sea level concerns. Jim Hansen in July of 2015 is pointing out the sea level concern, which is also too alarming to even review in this short overview. But suffice it to say that if we continue in our present course, this is the type of future we'll be looking toward. A tropical Central Park, New York City, and London that's underwater. There's no doubt that sea level will be going up meters of distance literally within a decade or two. And we're looking at tens of meters even further into the century. So what can we do to avoid this catastrophe, literally this climate crisis? Well, Rocky Mountain Institute, founded by Amory Lovins, says we just need to concern ourselves with efficiency or savings. A very benign way to approach such a serious crisis, even as the energy demand is expected to go up seriously, almost doubling by 2050. Well, our institute has been advocating experts in the field, including ones that advocate millions of tons of sequestering of carbon dioxide by using natural iron-rich plankton feeding, which has actually been verified by satellite. And this was very controversial when it was introduced 10 years ago. However, now it turns out that Nature magazine and other experts say, well, geoengineering with iron might work after all. So even as we transfer from a carbon-emitting fuel base to a non-carbon fuel, hopefully within the next 5 to 10 years, as some revolution breakthrough happens in energy, we still need to be concerned with this type of geoengineering to bring down the carbon levels from 400 back to around 300 parts per million. And what type of technologies are we looking at? Well, besides things that are low energy nuclear reactions, which hopefully will have a breakthrough soon, very soon, we're also looking at piezoelectric panels that can be put in roadways and train tracks at 500 kilowatts per kilometer, which is a very robust source of energy. There have been breakthroughs and research of quantum energy extraction. This is the Hayes Model patent. 7379286, and our conference, the 5th Conference on Future Energy, also featured Dr. Modell reviewing this breakthrough. And this is the type of research that's needed to take advantage of the quantum vacuum energy that's available, and also unusual forms of propulsion, such as Boeing's secret inertial propulsion scissoring gyros that was revealed by great engineer Mike Gamble just a few years ago, and we've refeatured him at COFI 7 as well. So these types of non-fuel based propulsion and energy are definitely the revolutions that we need to look forward to in the future. And you're welcome to visit integrityresearch.org, future energy that can do our work without working or undoing. Also visit futureenergy.org for our conference information, and here are some of the books also available. Thank you very much.